So, I just got to watch the finale of The Boys Season 4, and now I want to talk about this season kind of as a whole, give you my final review for this show. The first half of this, I'm just going to give you my review for it. Then I want to get into some spoiler stuff, because I do want to talk about the finale here and some of the stuff that happened. First things first, I did put out my review for, the first half of the season a couple weeks ago, a video that I got a lot of shit for, because I was not very nice to The Boys Season 4, and apparently a lot of you loved it a lot more than I did, at least the first half. And the one thing I will say about the first 4 episodes and the last 4 episodes is the show got a lot better. The second half of The Boys Season 4 I thought was 10 times better than the first half, where everything in the first half I thought was weaker than anything else I had seen from this universe. Between the first 3 seasons of The Boys and Gen V, I think the final 4 episodes put the show back on track, and although I still think as a whole, this season still ended up being the weakest season of The Boys universe, I still am ultimately excited about where this show is going to go in The Boys Season 5 and even Gen V Season 2, because this show kind of weaves in an interesting way to make Gen V Season 2 even more important than we originally thought it was going to be. I truly think the finale of this season is terrific. Terrific in a way that reminded me kind of Stranger Things finale, Season 4 of that show, where that show is setting up the final season, Stranger Things Season 5, which we still haven't gotten, but the way that they set it up, it ended on a cliffhanger that did not feel unsatisfying. You felt like you got a full story, but my god, you cannot wait for Stranger Things 5. And that's the way this season kind of wrapped up, as we did get a conclusion to one major story on the show. We got a satisfying finish to something that had been building up, but now there is a cliffhanger and a big sort of revelation of change that has set up to be a chaotic and incredible Season 5, where the stakes and the challenges the characters are going to face are so much higher than any of the other seasons, and everything is just coming together in a way that should be so amazing and epic in the final season. It's done really brilliantly, and I gotta give the show credit for doing a complete 180 for me. I had no excitement for this show the first 3 episodes into this season. It just kind of had lost me, and they had somehow brought the show from a place where I was lost with it, not that engaged with it, to a place where now I'm like, god damn, I want more. I also said in my original video that I felt this show needed some kind of cataclysmic change, that the show had been kind of tracking along the same formula for a while now, doing the same thing with its characters, where it didn't feel like the stakes were really changing all that much from where we were even in Season 1. It just kind of kept tracking along the same path, and there needed to be some kind of cataclysmic boom to really set this show in motion. And although the season never really got it, the finale and the final few scenes, you do get that cataclysmic boom, and now Season 5 is set up to be an amazing season. So let's talk about some of the highlights of this season. Of course, Anthony Starr as Homelander. He is just terrific. His performance as Homelander is something that we will be talking about forever. It is one of the more iconic performances we've ever gotten in TV or really any kind of media. He is so brilliant, so both charming and terrifying. He encapsulates this character who is so obsessed with ego and so obsessed with being loved, but is still all-powerful and doesn't need to really be loved. It's kind of this confusing cocktail of emotions that Homelander has that you never really get. And although the audience just never likes him, he's not likable at all, you just can't take your eyes off of him. You always want to know what he's going to say, what he's going to do, because he's so unpredictable, in a way like the Joker is. You just never know what's going to happen with him. I think the whole arc of this season with the president and the vice president, of course Victoria Newman, who is the vice president-elect, but she is also this very dangerous soup, and they're trying to take her down. I think a lot of it early on didn't work. It didn't really connect the way that I wanted it to. It didn't feel as large of an issue as it really is, but as it kind of builds into the finale, it works extraordinarily well. There are some characters' arcs that I really just didn't dig, and I didn't feel anything for, like the Deep and also A-Train. I feel like they're just kind of tregging along and rehashing the same kind of things each season. That's one of my main issues with this one. I think Huey, a lot of the stuff early on didn't really work for me. I think the episode with his dad, Simon Pegg, was done relatively great, but a lot of the stuff with him, his relationship with Starlight, his relationship with his father, I'm not that interested in anymore, to be honest. Same with Kumiko and Frenchie. I think a lot of the boys, the core boys characters, the main issue this season had is they just didn't know how to do interesting things with them around the larger story that was trekking along. So when we were actually in their subplots, it just wasn't as engaging as it was in previous seasons. I really, really, really love everything that was done with Butcher in this story. Billy Butcher has the best arc of this entire season. He is dying. He is terminally ill, and he wants to complete his mission before he dies, or does he? That's the question. And as he goes on this journey that I really don't want to spoil anything of, he meets up with some old people in his life, like Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who comes in. and plays Negan. He plays Negan in this show, let's just be honest. But he meets up with a bunch of other people. Of course, he's got the whole arc with Homelander's kid, and there's just so much going on with Billy that I do not want to spoil, but it is all excellent, and I cannot wait to see where it's going to finish up. Sister Sage, I think, is a great new character. Everything about her works, and I think where it leads to is just so satisfying. I think Firecracker's a really great character. I think at times this season is a little more on the nose with what it's trying to say about society, and I think maybe this finale, a little bit poorly timed. Of course, you all know what I'm referencing. I'm not going to get on it here because this is not that kind of channel. We talk about movies and TV shows. We're not going to get into the controversial stuff about our world. But what a poorly timed episode, in a way, right? I think the metaphors and the on-the-nose stuff maybe needs to get back toned down to the last season. Get back to making fun of everybody equally and not just be in your face about if you are these people, you're the problem. Because I mean, come on. I think we all need to get back from that, right? I think we all need to settle down a little bit. But it didn't bother me as much in the second half. I think the second half of the show was much less on the nose and more sort of back to the metaphorical meta-commentary that they used to do. Except for the last scene where they literally say, "Make America super again," like 50 times. I love it. I mean, it's good. It works. Overall, I thought the season of The Boys was good. I think it is a little unbalanced. The first 4 episodes I didn't love. The last 4 episodes I absolutely just dug the shit out of. So what do I rate it? What do I rate the season, seeing as it is a little unbalanced? Well, I will give The Boys Season 4 a 4 out of 5. Why not? 4 is a good number. Season 4, 4 out of 5, right? It works. All right, really quick, I want to talk about some spoiler stuff, so if you don't want to spoil... Really quick, I want to talk about some spoiler stuff, so if you don't want to be spoiled, fuck off. One thing I really like about the finale, other than the fact that there is this cataclysmic shift, the fact that, you know, Homelander essentially is the president now, kind of. I mean, not in name, not in title, but acting-wise, he is the leader of the free world, and the Supes are now kind of this paramilitary, this Gestapo for this corrupt United States government, and they're tracking down, you know, Starlight and the whole boys gang. I really dig all of that. That is a cataclysmic shift that has directly put our characters in a head-to-head conflict for the next season for obvious reasons. But I like how the people in, like, this Gestapo, or the people from Gen V, they don't have any talking lines, they don't really do much, but they're there. And it's very obvious and very rewarding for anybody who's watched the show that they are there and they are going to be major characters going forward, both in Gen V Season 2, which I now will assume will have much deeper connections to The Boys Season 5, and then, of course, in the eventual Boys Season 5. It will all come together and work brilliantly. I also really dug Billy Butcher taking V, becoming this weird superhero thing. He's got these weird powers where he's got these things that come out of it. I don't even know how to explain it, but the way he kills Victoria Newman, and he's just like, "You're welcome." I love that. Like, this show is so good, man. When it's good, when this show is good, it's awesome. Billy Butcher, everything he goes through of becoming this kind of murderous dick who just wants to finish the job. I love it. I love everything that happened with Butcher here, and I cannot wait to see where it is going in Season 5. And what is Season 5 going to look like? Well, of course, you are going to have, you have a half of the boys who are now captured by Homelander and Vought, and you have Starlight who is out there who is probably going to have to find a way to free them or assemble a team outside to go free them. You have Homelander who is literally the president now, and, you know, this team of superheroes that are going to be going against him. You're going to have this gigantic, weird superhero war. You're going to have uprisings in the country. You have Butcher who is dead set on killing Homelander. So, yeah, this is going to be amazing. It's going to be explosive. It's going to be big. And I cannot wait. I can't wait for Season 5. When are we getting it, guys? Great job to the guys at The Boys. You guys saved it. I was very down on the show a few weeks ago. And now I'm clearly not. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe for more. Turn on notifications to see everything when I post it. I post every single day. I'll see you in the next one.